and welcome to part 3 of the Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus playthrough. So we just completed World 1, huzzah, and we got a page of the Thievius Raccoonus back. Now we have learned the Spire Jump, which I don't see any difference at all in Sly's moveset because it's automatically given to him in the future games. Oh yeah, and also like every level transition inside the van, Murray is always doing some sort of shenanigans right there. It's always something different, and it's funny, and I show it off. Because Murray, because he's the stereotypical muscle of the trio, he also has to be the dumb one of the trio. So that's how it works. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, right?
Turns out he wasn't
Just imagine him being like the fucking Brainiac and Muscle.
The Brainiac and the Muscles. You got 2 in 1.
Yeah, and Ben.
Bendy?
I don't know. It's the turtle.
Bentley.
Bentley.
That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, Bentley's just like fucking just there as a mouthpiece because he just doesn't want to talk.
Hard to get there.
Yeah. And then he gets his legs broken.
With enough perspiration, he realized that dream.
He gets his legs absolutely decimated.
Right.
He become a hard
fucking mafia style.
Exactly. Well, speaking of mafia, right here.
Speaking of which,
like our next Fiendish 5 member is this guy Mugshot, and he became a gangster leader in Mesa City, Utah, and he now runs like the world's largest casino.
I've always wanted to go to that thriving American boom town.
So yeah, this is our next.
It's called the Sierra Madre Casino.
Sunset Snake Eyes. Ooh, spooky. I always like the little cutscenes in between episodes and all that because
they're very stylized.
Oh yeah, the cutscene really gives off that vibe. Like also the style, but also the direction of them really gives off this vibe.
Gives you like a Saturday morning cartoon thing.
Right, something like that. Yeah, which I really like, especially with the art direction here, because even. I don't know if I would consider the graphics of this game to be I almost said it again, shell-shaded.
Besides, I want to try out that new move I got.
I don't know if I consider the graphics here to be like cell-shaded, but it definitely gives off that vibe.
Yeah. Do me a favor and read me the instructions.
You guys can kind of see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly how it works.
So
it's like how graphics and the cell shading works, because whenever we think of like cell shade, the first thing that comes to mind is Wind Waker, and so we just know exactly what we're talking about when we say cell shaded. But I guess I can kind of see it here as well. Gives it that cartoon vibe as well.
Yeah, it's got the really kind of bright or solid colors.
Yeah, bright solid colors, not too intricate in texture detailing, but in line detailing as well. Because you can tell looking at Sly here,
the lines are a lot more just noticeable.
Yeah, they're a lot more rigid and noticeable. Like I'm trying to look at Sly here, he's like there's a very drawn line that you can see. It's very thin, but it's still there. And it's really cool for a 3D game.
But it also means they're about to switch to a different sector.
It also makes me think of I remember when some of the new Fairly Odd Parents episodes came out, and then one of the big distinctions that I saw in the animation was oh, the lines are thinner now around the characters. Because you guys remember those old Fairly Odd Parents stuff, in between 2001 and 06, I want to say, is the lines around every character is very thick lines, and I actually did like the thick lines for a bit. It kind of gave it its own distinct personality. And then when the newer stuff came out and they all went to thin line, I was like, oh, I don't like it. Damn it.
So you just didn't like the change in art style, and you just got fucked.
I added a thwomp sound effect to that. Yeah, I couldn't tell, and I just got freaking crushed. Yeah.
You didn't like the change in art style for Fairly Odd Parents, so you changed to thinner lines.
Yeah, and that's really it. They didn't really change anything else with the art direction either. It's just that.
Yeah, it's just that.
Because it was still Butch Hartman's like animation studio that was doing it. They just had it change and everything. It's kind of different. Like, have you guys seen any of the new like? I'm not sure when they started doing this, but it's the newer seasons of SpongeBob, because SpongeBob is still going after 20 years. Have you guys happened to catch any of those episodes at all? Okay, with that silence, I'm gonna take that as a no.
No.
No. Okay. Cause like some of the newer stuff. So they changed animation studios with SpongeBob. That's what I'm trying to say. And so they got the really old animators from that did Nick's Ren and Stimpy show like back in the 90s. So it's the Ren and Stimpy guys that are now doing the SpongeBob animations, and you can really tell the difference because everything in the newer SpongeBob's like, forget the quality of the scripts, just the very over-exaggerated animations with everything is very, very exaggerated.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I'm recalling off the top of my head at least one of them.
This mugshot certainly isn't shy.
The line
Okay,
that
so we
Mr.
know
Krabs
he's here
said
somewhere,
was like
but how are we
just the
supposed
word
to
what
find
with a
him?
question mark.
Mesa City is a big
So
place.
Given
it
that
took
he's a
like a
bulldog,
full like
it seems only reasonable for
3
him to
seconds for
choose
him to
live
like
in a
spurt out the
giant
entirety of
fire
what,
hydrant.
because it was like one of them angry
That's
whats
some
with a
swell
question
lunch
mark,
to
right?
try. Now
Like
you
what?
gotta find a way to break
During that
into the
entire
building's
what?
basement.
Mr. Krabs did like 300 different facial animations while doing that.
Wow.
And I did not like the over exaggeration of the thing because it is not necessary, and also it just looks bad.
I mean,
Might have to like look up like an episode of these so I know what it looks like.
Yeah, just look up one of the newer SpongeBob episodes and just you can tell that they changed animation studios. It is not the same as what we grew up with.
Yeah. But over exaggeration, you can technically say they're all unnecessary, but they kind of add something sometimes.
Maybe sometimes, but like I'm just pointing
Not
out.
always, obviously, but
It's also just the terms of like form I have the problem with. It's also in terms of substance, because what they did show us, even if it was necessary for what your sake of the argument is doing for, almost got caught there. Yikes. What they did with it was bad, just generally.
yeah, no, I mean it's. I'm not saying it's always good. It's just like it's sometimes good depending on like the how they're being expressive. Because sometimes it's they're very expressive with facial features, and sometimes they're very expressive with body movements, depending on like what they're doing.
Yeah, depending on what they're doing. But like you don't, for the example that I brought, you don't need like a 300 facial animated thing for like a what kind of thing. Because the old ones
don't need like 300 different facial faces.
Yeah. Because the old SpongeBob's, when they did something like that, they could just do it in like 10. And that's all it needed to do.
I'm seeing like a clip of like an episode right now, and I can tell just by looking at SpongeBob, it has that Ren and Stimpy kind of look to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is really eye-catching to say the least.
To say the least.
To say the least, right? Like probably the Ren and Stimpy animation worked well for Ren and Stimpy. When you apply it to something that's over 20 years old, you kind of notice.
Yeah, it becomes a little jarring.
Right, yeah. So there's that. And I haven't watched SpongeBob since. Anyways, we got a nice little casino night zone here again. This is basically the aesthetic of World 2 here, because of the big bad guy. Again, he's like big casino bad guy, gangster. And so his level is going to reflect that. And it's really fun just navigating these little like turntable things. I don't know. I've never visited a casino. But you can tell from like what you can see, like what you've seen from the movies, they definitely applied some of that aesthetic here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it's really fun. That jump, and I think it's the end of this level. We're in one of these things, but it's a lot bigger, and then we have to like jump into the thing, because I think with the rule with the games like this, like your ball has to land on, you know, the number and color that you chose specifically, and so you kind of have to do that with how you get the key in this level. It might be this level. Yeah.
You're still jumping the gun.
Oh yeah, those saves are in every level of the game, and you open them by collecting all these clue bottles.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, so it is this level. And so that's what I'm talking about with the like whole page side quest things. I could have gone out of my way to break all the clue bottles if I really wanted to, because I'm not even trying, and I already have 22 out of 40 in my inventory. So they're just kind of placed along the paths. You don't really have to go out of your way to search for them most of the time. So I could have done it, but I just decided not to. I don't think it would have taken up any more time, to say the least.
We see. So it's just like a more of a I don't want to, so I'm not gonna do it type of thing.
Yeah, even though I could have easily have gone through it, because I am not. I didn't care, but I didn't have any. But I just ended up getting like more than half of them, just on my basic playthrough.
Which does say it's probably gonna be really easy if you actually go for it.
Yeah. And that's why they changed the clue bottles up entirely in Slide 2, because it's now like the GTA 5 system. But clue bottles aren't these like collectibles that are just along the pathway that you see there. You actually do have to go out of your way to get them. They're kind of like hidden, like mini kits, but from the Lego games, but they're like out in the open world, and they're very obscure to find.
I'll do my best.
Oh boy, I don't like these levels. You guys like tower defense, or like, I don't know. This isn't exactly tower defense, and I freaking killed Murray. I don't like these levels. There are some levels in the game where you have to protect Murray from everything coming his way. And why?
Yeah, if he's supposed to do muscle, shouldn't he
I thought you were about to exit the level.
The default controls are inverted.
Are they inverted?
Turrets, yeah. Okay. Cool, that's fixed now. Yeah, I hate inverted controls, for the record.
Don't get me wrong. Other than the only times I feel like inverted controls I'm okay with is with like planes.
Yeah, because it kind of makes sense for planes.
Yeah,
that's how you kind of fly them.
Yeah, isn't that how it works in the real world with planes?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I obviously don't actually know, but
like,
I believe so.
Okay. But like when it comes to other stuff like
No.
like the center reticle for for your camera in like first or third person shooters, yeah.
Unless I'm trying to fucking like do a stupid challenge just because I want to make the game a little harder. It's like I'm not doing it out of like fucking like enjoyment or because it's a preference. It's usually just makes it harder for me overall.
Yeah. That's the thing, because it's in the invert. Up is down and down is up, and that's not really fun, or it's not what we're used to, especially today. Because like inverted controls are like the standard for like games around this era. Especially like
I don't understand why though.
I don't understand why either. The first thing that comes to mind actually is the plane levels from Crash 3 actually. And the controls there are inverted as well.
Halo 2.
Halo 2?
Halo 2 had that. I actually had the game, my copy, like my disc copy, had it to where it would automatically set the regular game controls as inverted.
The looking around controls.
Yeah.
Huh. That's
So,
odd.
so I had to fix it in the settings, and then of course when you're flying a Banshee, it's inverted controls.
But that's fine.
Yeah, which is not much of an issue. I'm used to the Banshee.
Yeah, like I said, like if it's a flying vehicle, you're usually like okay with it being inverted controls.
Huh.
But like if it's anything else, it's usually like no, fuck that. Let's get that out of here.
Yeah.
And I know like jets and helicopters in like Battlefield games are the same way with inverted controls. Mostly jets.
That's so weird, actually. Huh.
Also, with like the Halo thing, just in general, like usually at the beginning of the games, they'll do they'll go through like a little like calibration thing just to make sure like you're actually able to play the game and control well, stuff like that. And they'll always be like, yeah, look at the lights, and like you test out like looking around, and they'll be like, okay, now we'll do it again, but with your controls in, with you're looking inverted, and see if you like that better.
Is there a key in it for the winner?
Look at the top light. All right, now look at the bottom one. The top light again, then the bottom one.
The analog stick. And if you manage to
Just
pick up
keep
any
doing that
nitro
till you snap your
power-ups,
neck.
you can get a boost by pressing the square
Now
button.
do it 3 times as fast.
Now do it 3 times as fast.
Yeah, I do remember that from when I played Halo 1, and that was like the very first thing that made you do.
Yeah, it's like
First thing
that
you did in Halo 2.
It's like that for basically every campaign
Okay.
game. Like they have you do like the look around test and stuff, and then they invert it to see if that's what you want, and then you'll inevitably say no, put it back.
I don't think Halo Reach did that.
Really?
I don't
That's actually a
think
good point. I don't think Halo Reach does do that.
I don't think Halo Reach does do that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's like the one Halo game where it doesn't do that like, calibration thing.
Are the default controls the standard for looking around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just wondering, it was like games around like the modern, like starting from 2010 onwards is basically when developers figured out that players actually don't like inverted controls, so they just stopped making inverted the default of everything. So yeah, but
I don't understand what made them think inverted controls was the way to go.
Maybe people who just played flying simulators their entire life.
Maybe because like early games like this and like the PlayStation 1 era only had vehicles. Like I don't know when the very first person game like became mainstream and all that. Because like the original Doom, I know that's first person, but that doesn't have any up or down controls when looking around.
Yeah, it's just looking sideways.
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly when. I don't think it was GoldenEye either. I may be wrong about that, but I'm not sure when the camera control first became like mainstream and all that. But it was just inverter was the default of everything because flying vehicles and all that.
Yeah.
So I imagine playing inverted controls with a mouse.
Oh god. Oh god. No.
That'd be annoying.
I don't want to think about that.
I feel like just like imagine trying to play a Fallout game with inverted controls.
Man, those crummy dogs are bumping.
Like I already struggle enough with regular controls.
We need that key.
Take 2.
Imagine trying to do like fucking Mirror's Edge with inverted controls.
Oh god.
Oh my
No.
god.
Oh no. Wait, don't they give you an option to do that?
Probably.
Because
I'd have to check, but probably.
okay, because I distinctly remember like Mirror's Edge was the one game out of every single everything that gave you an option to have movement beyond the right side of the controller. Like you can move around with the right stick instead of the left, and use the left stick. to
Oh
move
yeah.
around.
You can do like you can make it like so that like the controls are on like opposite hands.
Right. I don't know if other games do that, but I just faintly remember Mirror's Edge doing that because it's so different.
Ooh.
We're giving you that option. Don't give the game developers any ideas. Oh man.